Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. We have another law student banger out for you guys. But if you don't know, my name is Naya Chung and I'm a part-time 3L in law school. I was supposed to graduate 2026, but I cut it all the way down to 2025 and I'm basically graduating when the regular full-time student is. I get to graduate and walk in the ceremony with them this semester, but I will be done in the summer. So I've learned a lot throughout these 3 years in every single summer, so I have a lot of advice to give. And today's advice is how to get good grades in law school, how to study better, and how to have better active recall for exams. Yes. So stay tuned. We're gonna just go over any way that anyone can learn and how I get it in my head and just tips I've learned from other people too. Okay, so one thing I want to say is getting good grades and sometimes studying is two different things depending on what class you take. So when it comes to grades, I want to say to choose a professor whose teaching style matches you. If you know that you need PowerPoints, if you know that you're an audio learner, if you know that you like assignments over exams, figure out which professors like that. Don't just ask all students, oh, who's the best professor? Ask them about the way that you learn. Ask them, does this professor use PowerPoints? Does this professor do exams? Is this professor mainly multiple choice? Whatever your learning style is, try to get into those courses with professors who teach like you. Sometimes you're required to take certain classes and there's only one option, but maybe out of the two options that you see, always go with the person who has a better learning style to you. So when you ask people who's the better professor, everyone has their own subjective opinion. Ask them what you need in order to be successful in the class. This can help boost your grades, this can help boost your GPA, and this can help you feel more confident in learning and more excited to go to class. And yeah, give yourself a chance to bump your grade up. So this video clearly is going to have a lot of strategies on how to get good grades and how to study better. So we're going to be on the grades portion first. And maybe if you don't have friends like that in law school, people you know, or people who haven't taken that course, what you do is you email the professor and you ask them, hello, my name is blank. I am a 2L, I am a 3L. Do you mainly teach with PowerPoints? I'm interested in taking your summer this semester. Get ahead of the game and sometimes just directly ask your professor. I have done that before and I have never not gotten a response back. And if you don't get a response, show up to their office hours. You are the student, you pay the tuition. You have a right to know what kind of structure a class is. So yeah, ask your professors, ask your friends, and know what kind of person you need for structure of a class and try to get most of your classes to be the way you need them to be. That way you can learn better. That's a way that you can get good grades. Another way to get good grades is to have a friend who is a 2L or a 3L or just ahead of you or just took different classes than you. That way when you need that class, you can always ask for an outline. Outlines are a saving grace in law school because sometimes you might miss a class. So always just have somebody who can give you an outline or just be a part of organizations so that you can get an outline bank. And that can help you for the days you are, stressed, don't know, you just have a lot of things going on. Use those outlines, but don't rely on them. And that leads to my next point. My next point is to write your own notes. I swear, outlines are great, and half the time I've seen some really good outlines, but nothing is better than the way you think. Literally, do not just fully rely on outlines to your detriment. Use outlines as a guide, but write your own notes. I'll write in certain colors for my brain. I'll do certain fonts for my brain. I would word things differently to help me remember. So do what helps you remember, and 9 times out of 10, that is writing your own notes. I'm just being real. So this is all how to get good grades. And of course, the next thing that we all know is if you have an assignment-based class or even if you just need to stay organized, make sure you have a planner, write in all the dates of when things are due. I do that at least for every month. And then I write outside of the deadlines. I will write on Tuesday and need to read 40 pages. I'll write on Wednesday and be complete assignment. So give yourself some structure in your planners. Planners are beautiful and planners will really help you be successful. So how to get good grades, y'all, how to get good grades or how to get better grades. Okay, you guys, now we are going to go to the portion of studying and how to do well on final exams. Ooh. Let me tell you guys, I am an exam person. I just want to take the test. That's it. So let me tell you guys how I do well on exams, how I get A's, how I study. And I think the key to this all is to know yourself and to know how do you memorize information the best and how much time do you need to memorize. You need to know, okay, I'm not the best memorizer, I'm not the best X, Y, Z. And if you know that about yourself, do not start closer to finals. You need to start months in advance and you need to start remembering and quizzing yourself and helping yourself. So You need to know what kind of learner you are, and if you are not somebody who could do it in the end, then you must do it in the beginning, because those final exams unfortunately are the biggest percentage typically in law school. And yeah, so you need to know yourself. But let's get to the tips. Some things that just help me do better on exams really stems from class, and that's from listening. Honestly, being present, being active, being there in class will really help you remember little things on the exam. That's why I urge everyone not to be absent. Sometimes just remembering that one thing your professor said will be on the exam, or the way they said it really stuck to you, or just really paying attention. So I highly advise that if you want to, have active recall and remember things for the exam and get every little point that you can, I highly advise that you pay attention in class, that you turn off your phone, you put your phone down this way, that you write notes with pencil and paper. This is how I actively recall. Other ways that I force myself to memorize and to learn though is I am a commuter, so I don't really do this as much anymore because I figured out my learning style even more and how I can. I'm a flashcard girly. But driving to school, listen to lectures. If you're a commuter and you're driving an hour, listen to lectures. Or maybe it's the weekend and you're going to your friend's house, she lives 30 minutes away. Go on Themis, go on Quimby, go on places that teach you the law that maybe you're struggling with, and while you're driving, listen to that. The more you do during the semester, the easier an exam will be. So I personally listen to Zooms while I drive, and not even that, I'm somebody who really rewatches Zooms. I go back and I rewatch the Zooms and I take notes and I really pay attention and I pause and I focus, and when I don't understand something, I go back and listen to the question, I reread. So also rewatching Zooms really helped me. If not, maybe put on a lecture you were struggling with, and on your drive to your friend's house, on your drive to school, on a drive to the grocery store, while you're walking in the store, listen to these things. It will really help you remember. So like how I've been saying, I'm a flashcard girly. Think about the ways that you can really remember practically. So I use flashcards. I'll put, like, for example, if it's a tourist class, I'll put battery, and then I'll have all the elements of a battery behind it. And then if I have another flashcard, it'll be assault, and then I have all the elements of assault. And I just sit there and quiz myself, whether it's at school, whether it's at my house. I like flashcards because I could bring them anywhere. I could test myself. It takes a long time to write, but I really get it in my head. Some people just need an outline and they'll quiz themselves that way. So if you're one of those lucky people who could just read an outline and keep remembering it, girl or boy, whoever, do that. Like, literally do that. But maybe, like I said, know yourself to know whether you need to do it in advance or if you could do it closer to time. If you can't do it closer to time and get a good grade, you need to be a person who's dedicating your weekends, dedicating your Monday, whenever you're the most free, to reviewing. Some people are also, outside of just notes and outlines and flashcards, some people are good at whiteboards. So they get a whiteboard, they write everything, they erase, and they just quiz themselves off the memory, off the dome. And that might work for you. These are just the ways I've seen other people do it. Some people also quiz themselves. They go on like a supplement like Quimby or something, and then they just quiz themselves. One thing I will say about that is I'm very professor specific, and I realize that has helped me learn. Sometimes outside help doesn't teach the way your professor teaches, and some professors are very peculiar, which is why I go back and rewatch Zooms. I keep the information that they give me, and 9 times out of 10, the information that they give is the one on the exam. So I literally learn my class. I don't really go outside of my class for learning purposes, but if I'm having trouble understanding something, that's when I highly recommend using a supplement. But I would highly recommend taking the notes that your professor tells you and listening and hearing what they emphasize, because sometimes professors emphasize things that maybe a supplement won't or a video won't. So pay attention to what your professor really likes, and if you're just struggling with that concept, yes, use supplements. But a lot of people use whiteboards, a lot of people use flashcards, a lot of people just know and memorize their outline. And another tip I will give is maybe to have a partner in your class so you can bounce ideas off of. Sometimes professors are very hell-bent on like, you need a partner to study with somebody XYZ. And I understand that, but in law school, 9 times out of 10, a lot of people have different schedules. People live in different cities. It's hard to really meet up. I will say the most you can do is maybe have a weekly Zoom with people or a monthly Zoom where you go over things, or you literally have a friend who you can ask questions with, like, yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding this. Like, what do you think? Maybe go over work together, explanations, send voice messages. If you have an iPhone, you don't really maybe have to like link if that's almost impossible. Maybe just form a bond with somebody and you guys have an agreement that you do quizzes together every week, you do this every week so that you guys are holding each other accountable and staying together. Another big piece of advice that I have is to find a friend that you're really close with and like go to the library if you guys have time together at your school and just sit there for an hour and do your homework or study. That holds me accountable. I kind of like it even better when my friends not the same class as me. That way I can really focus on what I'm doing and they're focusing on what they're doing and we're just spending that time studying, and that helps me be accountable with homework, studying, exams, finals, just having another friend in the room and just both of us staying on point and knowing that we're not leaving here until we're done. Yeah. And my next piece of advice is to go to professors when you really don't understand a concept. Don't go to them when you're like in the end. By the end, it's kind of too late sometimes. It's never too late, but it's harder to learn. And it's harder for your professor to really break down concepts for you. Say you know you don't understand something in week 4 of school and the semester is, for example, 12 weeks long. Okay, well, since you came at week 4 when you first learned it, it'll be better for them to break it down and really try to explain versus you going in week 9 where now you learn so much more new things that have probably built on that concept. So do not be afraid to go to your professor's office hours. I speak up. I might not speak up in class like that, but when I don't understand something, when I don't like the grades I'm getting, when I want to prepare for the midterm or the final, I start going to my professor's office hours and I'll be like, hello professor, I'm having a really hard time understanding this. And they will 9 times out of 10 break it down for you. And about the midterms and exams, there's always typically somebody who starts asking questions if you don't have a midterm and only an exam. Even if the class doesn't start asking questions, but you're going towards the end, you can always go to your professor's office hours. I'm not saying they'll give you an answer, but you can be like, professor, I really like to prepare in advance. I just want to know I'm on the right track for studying. I plan on studying like this. Give them your game plan. See what they say. They might add some sprinkle in there, and now you know how to study even better. So talk to your professors. They are literally the person writing your exam, creating your exam, structuring your class. They know everything, so use your professors. And I believe that any technique and really knowing yourself, knowing when you need to start studying, knowing how to hold yourself accountable. Maybe you need to do homework with your friends. Maybe you need to have a planner. Just knowing all these little things about yourself, I really believe will help you get better grades and good grades in law school. No one can, of course, be in that exam room with you, but it's all about staying actively involved during class. It's all about holding yourself accountable for assignments and doing a well job. It's all about going or having friends or going to your professor when you don't understand. And it's all about how much time do you need to prepare and to memorize and to get every rule of law in your head. You might need a supplement to help that better understanding. You might need to go to your professor. But yeah, you guys, I honestly think that all these little things should help you get better grades in law school. And one thing about it, for essays at least, know if you're a multiple choice person or essay person, and whatever you're weak on, make sure you're practicing that in general, because outside of these courses, there is going to be the bar. So make sure you're just keeping yourself good at both multiple choice and essays. If you're not good at essay writing, practice. If you're not good at multiple choice, practice, go on those supplements, do questions. Make sure you're also always tailoring your learning to the way your professor is teaching and to the points and to the rule of law that they are, harboring on. I find that when I go back and watch videos, there'll be little things I won't catch in class. Like I'll realize, dang, professor talked about this subject for 6 classes. Ding, 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 ding. That might be on your exam. Ding, 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 ding. That might be your essay. So yeah, do things like that, or maybe practice those questions, and hopefully it'll get you to be more successful. Also, I just want to hop on and say that if you are taking a 4-credit course, like business entities, evidence, anything like that, any 4-credit bar course, you need to be studying not close to finals, but way in advance. And this goes for anybody, because those 4-credit courses, y'all, it's deeper than just knowing the rule of law. You have to deeply know how to apply. So that's my little quick. Let's get this video to 100 likes. Don't forget to subscribe to me, you guys. I'm here to help you. I'm here to develop you into a better law student. I'm giving tips that I wish I knew. As a first-generation law student, it's a lot to learn, and this can honestly help anybody. So I'm wishing you guys a good semester. Stay tuned. I'm gonna make more entertainment content soon, but I want to give you guys the game first. But just make sure to be on the lookout for my videos, and you won't know unless you subscribe. Like I said, let's get this video to 100 likes, and comment ways to help you study, help you learn. What do you do in law school? Let's help build a community. Good luck, you guys. And one other quick tip is on your breaks, whether it's spring break or winter break, that is always the time you need to go back into your classes and review, get ahead, do what you need to do. Breaks are really gateways into becoming successful. Say you fell behind in class, well, you studied on your break, you study on your spring break, you catch yourself up, you go back into what you didn't understand, and I promise it will really help you get ahead. I always say my breaks is when I really get further and I start to really understand the course, and that's like a turning point for me. Like right now I'm in spring break, and best believe every day I'm doing something for each of my classes. So yeah, just saying. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Naya Chung, aka Legally Naya, and see you next time. Let's get this video to 100 likes and support me as a fellow law student. Thank you guys.